And today's class will be focusing on all the pranas combined together with Vyana prana. Vyana prana is a outward moving expansion energy. And if you can imagine that from the center of you, your heart, as we often do, and this expands with energy all the way around you, all the way out to the sides, front and back. And as you breathe, allowing your breath to stream from your heart down your arms, down to the fingers and the thumbs, and down through your body to your legs, to your feet and your toes. Possibly with an inhale, feeling your energy brightening all inside of you and all around you. And as you exhale, the energy glowing back to your center. Inhale, the energy radiates out in all directions. And exhale, softening back into your center with a glow. Keep that going with your breath, noticing the front of your body expanding. As you exhale, softening through the back of your body and letting that expand to the ground as well as you release your weight and any holding, letting go. Vyana, Vayu is the vital force that moves outwards, that circulates all around you with your auric field, your heart field, and all the way through your body as well, with all the nadis, the energy lines, the systems of your body. I'll read about Vyana Vayu. Vyana Vayu literally means outward moving air and moves from the center of your body out to the periphery. The Vayu pervades the whole body and is in a coordinating, connecting force. It runs through the whole network of your nadis, passageways of prana in the body, connecting the functions of nerves, veins, muscles, and joints, and circulates nutrients and energy. Its function is coherence and is associated with the element of water. Vyana Vayu is fundamental to making one feel and function as an integrated whole, as wholeness. Goosebumps and perspiration are all various actions and reactions to the skin, to the environment, are manifestations of Vyana Vayu. It functions at the surface of the outer boundary of your energy body, much like the surface tension of a drop of water or a bubble, and is associated with a sense of boundaries through which we define ourselves and interact with the world. Within the body, Vyana Vayu governs our internal sense of coordination, balance, and physical integrity or cohesiveness. When unbalanced, one feels uncoordinated and clumsy. Coordination between mind and body is vital, and Vyana Vayu brings all of this back into balance, back into our own empowered whole body sensation with whole mind, heart, and body in balance. As you notice your breath expanding out as you inhale in all directions and coming back into center as you exhale. Just take one more big breath like this, really filling up and emptying out. And then let's, with an inhale, reach the hands overhead, lengthening to your fingertips and your toes. You exhale, moving the hands back to the sides of your body. Keep that going with your own breath, floating the arms overhead to the ground above you. As you exhale, lowering the hands back down with the palms facing the ground. And with an inhale, we're rising through the body with prana and with Vyana Vayu, this outward rising. As you exhale, we're bringing your apana, the downward force, through you, and Vyana as well through you, circulating all the way through. Keeping that going As you notice our Udana Vayu, our throat wind as well. And as you lengthen your spine, feeling the breath through the throat, making the slight noise of waves of the ocean. And as we bring our awareness to our core, we can bring this all together with Vyana Vayu as well. And the 5 Vayus create Maha Vayu. Moving our hands back down to your sides of your hips when you're ready, please. And just settling for a moment, softening shoulders, feeling your back now. We now do similar action with the legs. We're going to draw the feet in towards the hips and move the toes down to the ground so the heels are lifted if possible. And then move your heels out again to wide legs, as wide as you like, but go careful because this is quite an intense core activation. And maybe if it's a bit hard for you to do both legs, you just do one leg at one time and then switch to the other leg. We're having this awareness out to our periphery again. And with an inhale, you can expand out. As you exhale, drawing the legs back in, or one foot at a time. Feeling into each hip and the front of the hip, the psoas muscle being strengthened and lengthened here at the same time. One more breath like this, please, ending on the opposite side that you started with. And then let's hug everything into center, hugging arms and knees to our chest, rock from side to side. Feeling that expansion that you've just created in your body now, sealing in, balancing. And as you massage your shoulders and hips, maybe you just get into the rock a bit more and you rock as if you're about to roll over to one side and then rock as if you're about to roll over to the other side. Coming back to center, let's take our hands to the ground, palms facing down and knees over our body. You then move the knees over to one side and you can straighten the legs if you've got really strong core and lower back, or keep them bent with the knees bent. And coming back up to center, let's go to the other side, moving into the slight twist through our core and from side to side, feeling into both of the rib cage sides and down to the outer hip sides. One more breath, ending on the opposite side you started with, please. And then coming back to center. Let's take our right knee over our left leg and then moving both knees over to the left for spinal twist. Dropping your right arm to the ground. Today, let's look to the right and then take your left arm over your body, trying to maybe stack the left hand on top of the right arm in a place where it's comfortable for you. Or you could just shuffle all the way so that the hands are quite stacked, and it's hard to do it on that side. Oh, you'd be doing it to the left side, but let's keep it to the right. With an inhale, reach the left hand over to your left. And exhale, closing it over to the right. We'll do this 3 times to this side and then move to the arms on the other way, which will be a bit easier. Keep that going, moving your left arm over to the right and out to the left again. Great, coming back to center, let's move both arms over to the left, please. Keep the knees to the left and you can shuffle your body to be a bit comfier. Stacking the hands, which is what I was trying to do on the other side, I forgot. With an inhale, we open again with the arm out and the right hand to the right. As you exhale, closing into center. Inhale to open, feel the right shoulder down, turning to the right. Exhale into center. One more time. Inhale to open. And exhale into center. Keeping your right hand over the left. Let's now move this right hand above our head, tracing the fingertips on the floor, and have a big circle all the way around with the hand moving across the right hip, the right thigh, and across the body to the left again, circling over the head, moving with your breath, feeling the breath expanding through you. One more big breath. Great, let's bring ourselves back to center and have a rock from side to side on our hips, our shoulders, our back again. Then we'll go to the other side. Left leg maybe wrapping over the right, or the knees can be stacked. Taking your left arm out, shoulder height away from you, return to the left. Just have a breath here, noticing the outer left hip, and the spinal twist through the left side. Taking your right arm over the left arm to just cross the right arm over your body again. You can stack the knees if you need to, or make any shuffling adjustments so your body's a bit comfier. With an inhale, open the right arm out to the right again. As you exhale, closing it to the left. Keep that going for a few breaths on this side. Breathing deep into the twist and the stretch through the right rib cage to the left. And then we'll change the hands over to the right side, so the left stacks on top of the right, looking to the right with an inhale, open out to the left, and then exhale, closing in, drawing the lower belly in. Inhale to expand, feel the rib cage or left shoulder melting to the ground. Exhale, drawing into center, lower belly drawing in. And keep that moving, one more breath, please. Great, the next time your hand touches together, the hands touch, let's take the left arm and trace it over the head, all the way round to the left and down through the floor, as close to the floor as possible as you trace it over your body, and around in this big circle again, twice more. Big deep breaths, breathing deep, the circulating energy all around you and within you. Vyana, Vayu. Great, we'll come back onto our backs. You can hug the knees in with your hands to the knees or hands over your head. Have a big stretch out. Let's now take our hands to our shins and the soles of the feet together. Just ease the knees out to the sides. They don't have to be fully out. They can be slightly in if you need to. And try to press to both soles of the feet, pressing all of the toes towards each other if possible, and the soles of the feet, the outer edges of the top and the heel of the foot as well, noticing all that. Feel the inner arch and the stretch through the inner seams of the legs to the inner pelvis, the outer hips. Feel from the outer side of your body, so the periphery edges, to the inner center, noticing your lower back and your lower belly, drawing lower belly towards spine as you exhale. Inhale, rounding the belly slightly, filling up with air. One more breath. Exhale, drawing lower belly in, pressing the lower back to the ground, the shoulders are relaxed. And the inhale, expanding the belly, your heart, your lungs. Great, let's seal our knees back together. Either rock from side to side, roll onto your side and press up to seated, or we can spinal rock and roll onto our sit bones and inhale, rolling back. Maybe you have a quite dynamic roll with the feet going all the way over your head as you roll back, or just keeping it soft and don't go too wild. Notice what's needed, what you are wanting to move with today. Great, let's come to a position where our feet are on the ground just in front of us, and then we'll hug our knees in together, so we're hugging the inner thighs and pressing the inner feet in together. We'll wrap our left arm around the knees and right hand to the back, turning over your right shoulder, looking over there. Let's just have 3 breaths. If you want to twist a bit deeper, we can lift this left hand up and take the left elbow to the outer knee area. Just encourages the left rib cage round a bit more. One more breath, feeling into the back of the ribs, the back of the shoulder. Great, and then coming back to center. Let's go to the other side, right arm wraps around the shins, left arm behind. 3 breaths here. We're taking the right arm up to the sky, reaching up, and hooking the elbow to the outer left knee. Turning around with your breath. Feel the expansion to the back of the body and the back of the heart as well as the front. All the way round, all the way through and within, connecting with balance. Great, coming back to center. Let's wrap the left arm around the knees again and reach the right arm in air now behind you if possible. Otherwise, if it's a bit hard to keep the arm lifted, you can just keep it down towards the ground. We'll exhale, take the hand forward in front of us. Inhale, twist round to the side. Twice more. Exhale, arm forward in front. Inhale, opening it out. Once more. Exhale to the front. And inhale to open behind you. Great. Crossing to the other side now. Right arm around the shins and left arm behind you. Either hand to the ground or reaching it back again into the twist. Turning, feeling this side. Exhale, take it into the center. Looking forwards, reaching it forwards. Inhale, lengthen and lift it back into the twist. Exhale, forwards. Inhale, lengthening into the twist, looking around, and once more. Drawing lower belly in as you come to center. And inhale, turning, lifting your heart, your spine. Coming back to center, let's hug both forearms over the knees and take your head to your knees to just seal that in. Great, let's come to our cat-cow position, hands and knees, under shoulders and hips, spreading the fingers, pressing the pads of the hands down. Notice your shins pressing to the top of the feet. Simple cat-cow with an inhale, lift your heart, center elbow back, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, press the ground away, drawing through your core, tilting chin to chest and pelvis. Inhale to expand with Vyana Vayu from our center to all directions. Exhale, rolling through the spine with Sayama Vayu into center, into our center to balance. Keep that going. Inhale, lifting with Prana Vayu. Exhale, grounding as you press to the ground with Apana Vayu. Inhale to lengthen. Noticing your throat, Udana Vayu. Exhale into center, drawing this all into balance. Moving one more time with the 5 Vayus as we move in our yoga practice to balance our body, bring awareness all the way through. Great, coming back to center. Let's take child's pose for a moment. Or if you want to be a bit more active, you can take plank. Any versions of plank that you like as you sway out, maybe in your plank or your child's pose. Just soften your face, your jaw. Notice the whole of the body from fingers to toes. And anytime you need to rest, come into child's pose or any rest posture that's best for your body. Great, let's come forward again, and now dropping our hips, moving the feet maybe a little bit backwards. We're in a high cobra. Have a sway from side to side when you're ready. Feeling into both shoulders, easing back your jaw, your face. We'll do some cobra waves. As an exhale, take the hips back to child's pose. Inhale. Nose low to the ground, moving forward, expanding out to the crown of our head and our toes. Exhale, taking it back to the hips, into our center. Inhale, forwards with the nose, with the face as you lengthen through your spine, lifting to the crown of your head, pressing to the toes. One more time, exhale back. And inhale forwards, expanding out, feeling all the way through, softening shoulders away from the ears, lengthening and lifting your heart. Exhale, tuck the toes now, lift the knees off the ground, and just pulse here for a few moments. Maybe you move forward and back a little bit, maybe the knees up and down. Do you feel any difference? out to your periphery edges, to all of the fingers, the thumbs, the toes, hugging the muscles into the center line. If you need to rest, please do so. And then let's move back to downward facing dog. Have a pedal out in down dog. Maybe swaying your hips from side to side. Let's walk the feet forward to the front of the mat, please. Feet hip distance apart as you soften into your ragdoll forward fold. Choosing your hand options, maybe the hands are just dangling. Maybe you're swaying with the forearms crossed. And they can be crossed behind your shins, your calves as well, if you like that variation to go a bit deeper. One more big breath here, please. Maybe sighing out, softening, and letting the weight drop to the ground. And then let's cross our forearms the opposite way. Take your feet a little bit wider, maybe nearly mat width apart. And then we'll take our elbows over to the right side, coming in a big circle as you lift up. Find the stretch through the left side of the body. Angle the elbows up above your head, really stretching out for a moment. Then breathing down through the left side, keeping that stretch awareness to the sides of the body as you press to all toes. Let's circle 3 times to the right, and then we'll do the same to the left. Moving with awareness, maybe slowing it right down to really feel all the sensation of the muscles as you stretch through, particularly around the shoulders and the rib cage. Moving in the opposite direction when you're ready to the left with a big circle round. Elbows over shoulders as you circle. And stretch through as you lift and lift the elbows overhead. Pause there for a moment and we soften back down. 3 either side. When you've done your 3, let's just pause, lowering into our forward fold. You've got choice to either interlace the fingers behind the back and drop the head, lift the shoulders and rotate them slightly. Or if that's a bit hard, you can hold on to opposite wrist, forearm area as well. And just feel the shoulder blades easing towards each other, stretching across the front of the shoulders, the heart, your chest, softening your jaw. Great, taking both hands forward now, bend your knees a little bit, heel toe the feet a little bit closer together so they're hip distance apart. And then let's look at our toes, lift them away from the ground. You can have hands on blocks to help you if you need. Positioning all the toes to the ground. Notice which toes are kind of spreading away from each other, which toes aren't. And maybe you can take your fingers and just widen the toes away from each other a little bit, create a bit of space between them if possible. Especially little toes maybe widening out to the sides, just encouraging that. Then grounding down through the feet, lifting through the inner arches. Let's rise up with a big full breath, coming all the way up to standing. Sweeping our hands overhead when you're ready, looking up, lengthen to the fingertips, giving stretch up to the sky. Then exhale, hands down to the sides. Great, let's step our feet wide so the feet are turning out, toes turning out in the same direction of the knees. So with this expansion energy, let's do some pulses. We can either have the hands shoulder, well, head height, elbow shoulder height, and we pulse up and down, or your hands can be on your hips to make it a bit easier. Pulse through the legs, feel the muscles hugging into your thigh bones, your shins, feeling into the feet and the toes, the outer corners of the feet. Maybe you pulse your arms as well if they're raised, and just feel to the fingers, the thumbs, the outer edges of the upper arms, around the shoulders. One more pulse. Great, let's straighten the legs but keep a micro bend. Lift your hands above you, radiating in all directions and to your center as well. Inhale, stretch a bit more. Exhale, draw lower belly in. And then let's take our hands to our heart, Just sealing this in. We'll take 3 big circles round now. As you exhale, take the energy down to the ground, offering thanks to the earth and sweeping the arms around in a big circle, hands over your head. Exhale down through your body with thanks and balance to the earth, sweeping around, big circle overhead. Keep that going, one more big breath. Inhale, reach it up to the top overhead. Now we're going to turn and twist to one side, so turn the opposite foot at the back in slightly and look behind to that back thumb. Inhale, reach up to the top, go to the other side, turning your feet, noticing out to the periphery and back into center. Keep it moving deep, feeling through, breathing with your breath. Softening your shoulders as much as you can as well. Feeling into the strength of the twist in your legs, your core, with softening across the top of your body. One more breath, breathing to the opposite side, please. And then coming back to center. Hands overhead, big stretch, interlacing the fingers, index finger pointing up in Tara Bodhi Mudra. Light it up as a vessel of light from your feet all the way up to the top. And exhale, hands down to the sides. Let's turn the toes out again, bend the knees. Take hands to the knees. Let's drop one shoulder towards opposite knee and come back to center. Exhale, turn to the other side. Back to center. One more time each side. Feeling into the stretch through the back of the rib cage. Down through the spine. Great, coming back to center. We now take our hands so the elbows are bent. One palm's going to be pressing up and one palm's pressing down. We did this a few days ago with our Samana Vayu, the inter-center balancing wind. And this one also helps us understand Vyana Vayu, the outward expanding circumference wind. So as we inhale, let's press the legs straight, the arms away from each other. Exhale, come back to that beginning point again. Inhale, pressing up, and exhale back to your palms in opposite directions if possible. One more time, inhale, pressing up, and exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, let's sweep both hands overhead. Exhale, take the other elbow, the other hand up and the other hand down, so opposite side now. Hold here for a moment, softening shoulders, pressing to feet, going to center. Inhale, let's expand again, pressing up with the hand and the bottom hand down. Now exhale, back to center. Keep that going, breathing deep. One more time. And coming back to center. Great, inhale, reach the hands up. Now exhale, hands to your hearts. Let's heel toe the feet towards each other and stand for a moment, honoring your body and all of the prana, the vital forces within you, honoring your wholeness with balance. Setting your intention and sending this out to the world if it resonates to you. Let's begin with some lunge style variations of our sun salutations, which really corresponds with all of the Vayus, all of the vital forces, as well as Vyana Vayu, the circulating force, to tie everything in and weave everything around. Inhale, reach the hands up to the top. Exhale, bending knees, hovering as you fold. Inhale to look forward, to lengthen, lift lower belly. Exhale, hands down, stepping right foot back. Either knee down or lifted, hands up overhead when you're ready. As you exhale, take the hands out to the sides, down towards the floor. Inhale, sweep them up like wings, maybe looking up. Exhale, hands down to the sides. Inhale, sweeping up, looking up, lengthening. Once more, exhale, in the downward force. Inhale, rising with upward force. Exhale, hands down, pressing back to plank with an inhale. Exhale, either resting or moving through your vinyasa, knees chest chin or full body press up. Inhale to rise for Cobra or knees off the mat, up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Feeling into what's right for you. If you need to rest in child's pose and skip those vinyasas, you can just go straight to down dog and miss out the plank, moving down part, or doing what's the best for you, for your energy. And as we come to our practice, we always work with an energy of truth, of satya, of not overdoing it, not being in competition with any images or any sense that we are not whole enough, and always accepting our energy with wholeness. With an inhale, lifting the right foot up to the sky. As you exhale, draw your knee in, stepping that foot forward, top of the mat. Low or high lunge again, reaching up. Lifting from the pelvis through the core line to the fingers. Exhale, hands down to the sides, softening your shoulders. Inhale to rise, looking up, press to the feet. Exhale, arms wide as you soften. Once more, inhale to lengthen, lifting through. And exhale, hands down, drawing lower belly in. Inhale to lift the hands up overhead. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Stepping forwards with an inhale, looking forwards, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold with knees bent softly. Inhale, rise to the top, reaching hands up above head. Now exhale, let's fold down all the way again to the ground. Inhale to look forward to lengthen, lift lower belly. Exhale, stepping left foot back, low or high lunge again, your choice. Reaching hands overhead as we inhale. Exhale, taking right hand forward, left hand back now into the twist. Inhale, reach up to center. Let's twice more to the left. Exhale to turn, feeling the left thigh. Inhale to rise, pressing to both feet to center. Exhale to turn, softening shoulders. Inhale to rise, the hands overhead. Exhale, hands down, stepping back to plank through your vinyasa or rest if you like. Exhale, lowering through, bending elbows into the side ribs. Inhale to rise into your back bend, softening shoulders away from ears. And exhale, back to down dog. 3 more big breaths, softening as well through your face, your jaw, maybe having a sigh. Feeling from the fingers spread, with the thumbs activated. Notice your thumbs and your little fingers pressing to the ground. Feel the outer edges of the hands moving to the center of your palm, Hasta Bandha. Inhale, lift the left foot up to the sky. Exhale, draw the left foot in. Step it forward, low or high lunge again. Reaching hands up overhead. As you exhale, turn to the right, right hand back, looking to that right thumb. Inhale, come up to center, turning forwards again. Exhale, turning, softening shoulders, feel the right thigh. Inhale to lift it up to the top. Once more, exhale, turning. And inhale to rise up to your center. Exhale, hands down, stepping forwards with an inhale. Looking forwards, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, drop through core and shoulders. Inhale, rise to the top, reaching and looking up. Now exhale, let's take our hands to our heart this time. Sealing into center, feel the feet, lengthening through your body to the crown of the head. Softening your shoulders back, feel the back of the body all the way down to the heels. Lifting through your shins, feel the front of the body, all the way up to the forehead. Great, just softening through for a breath. Let's start now with chair pose, Utkatasana. So we step our feet together, big toes touching again. You can either take your hands forward just to be shoulder level or above the head when we get into chair. So let's bend our knees, sink hips back, draw up through the core. Feel the feet, the 5 toes, the big toes and the little toes. Draw up through your inner arches for Padabandha. And let's pulse it now. With an inhale, reach up with the hands overhead. Feel the glutes. Exhale, sit back into your chair, either hands overhead or level to the ground. Inhale, lift it up again. Feel the legs and the thighs. Exhale, sitting back, drawing through your core. Once more, inhale to rise, looking up slightly. Exhale, drawing lower belly in as you sink back, feel the legs strength, your shins and your heels. Taking your hands to your heart, let's twist now. Taking the left elbow to outer right knee, turn to the side. And if this is a bit hard, you can stay kind of straight up standing and just turn to the side as well as a variation. Drawing back that right shoulder. Inhale, coming back to chair or to standing straight up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take the right elbow to the outer left knee. And again, you can do this standing, turning to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Let's move the feet out again to the sides of the mat. Turn the toes out for your squat malasana and squat down. You can have the hands to the ground or to some blocks, or hands to your heart. Just have a sway, maybe easing into the hips, softening through your shoulders, your face. I know it's a strong pose for a lot of us, but it's really good. And here we feel the downward force of apana with the upward rising of prana. And all the Vayus working together, drawing us into the center and expanding out to the sides in all directions. Feeling your big toes, your little toes, the outer edges of the feet as you squat. Great, hands down. Let's step back with the left leg for lizard. Maybe the hands are shoulder width apart and the left knee is down to the ground, or it can be lifted. If you've got room and availability in your right hip to take the forearms down, you can take that variation, which is harder, and either the left knee is lifted or down again. You can maybe pulse a little bit forward and back or side to side carefully to just feel into the water energy that's connected to Vyana Vayu. And also our sacral chakra, Swadhisthana, with orange water lights. One more breath here. Taking the left knee down, hands to the mat under your shoulders. You can stay there just looking forwards. Or we're going to reach the right hand up, and it can be overhead as a version, or behind you, shoulder height as a version in the twist. You can just stay there for 3 breaths, either of those. Or we're going to pick up the left foot behind us, draw it in, draw the right shoulder back into monkey twist. Finding the thigh stretch, lifting your heart and gaze. One more breath. Great, everyone. Exhale, hands down. Let's step carefully back to down dog. Both feet level and hip distance apart. And then either moving through your vinyasa with a plank or resting in down dog or child's pose. Moving through your press up as you inhale to the back bend, cobra up dog, lengthening from your toes to your crown. Exhale back to down dog. 3 big breaths to neutralize balance. Notice out through your body to the periphery and back through the body into center. Inhale, lift the left foot up to the sky, please. Exhale, step it to the outer edge of the left hand, the outer edge of the mat, turning the toes out again. Choosing a variation for lizard, either with the knee down or knee lifted, forearms down or on your hands. Having a sway again, maybe from side to side. Feeling into that water energy, moving all the way through you. With golden abundance, thriving energy. As we move out all the tension and we work on our body in yoga, we're also working on going with the flow in our life more. How to let things go, how to create more ease. And then when we do these challenging postures, it helps us with all the challenges in life. Helps us with our resilience and our strength. Let's take our hands to the ground, right knee down and right hand under shoulder. Either we lift the left hand up overhead, looking to the sky, or you can reach it back, shoulder height, looking round for 3 breaths. We take the right foot behind, drawing it into the hips. Feeling into the thigh stretch if you have monkey twist. Lifting through your heart, dropping that left shoulder back. One more big breath. And then exhale, hands down. Let's step back again to down dog. Feet hip distance apart. And then either resting or moving through your vinyasa again. Vinyasa to weave and connect. So all the Vayus, the vital forces weaving and connecting through you. Have a big breath, maybe a sigh out. Noticing all the way through. Feeling Mula Bandha pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha our diaphragm and Jalana Bandha our throat. And these all connect with the Vayus, with the vital forces to create Maha Bandha, Master Seal, and Maha Vayu, Master Wind. Let's move into plank now, please. And we can either take straight leg form or knees to the ground, bent knees. Choosing which side for your side plank. If you want to go down onto your forearms and do it on your forearm, you can do, of course, making sure the forearm is kind of safe for your shoulder underneath you. Or you can stay on your hands as well and take your side plank form with the bottom knee bent or straight. Maybe the top leg lifts off the ground. You hover it there like a star. Maybe the top leg steps behind the bottom foot as you open out a bit. And the left knee can be down to help you, or your left leg straight with the left foot in front of the right. Great, let's take it back to our center plank. You can rest if you need to, or stay strong with your full plank straight legs. And then going over to the other side. Choosing your side as you reach up to the top. Bottom knee can be down or both straight legs. And then lifting the top leg if you like. Reaching up to a star form. Maybe the top leg steps back to open across your body. Maybe you have the bottom leg straight or bent, either style, lifting up and expanding. Next, so let's come back to plank. Let's just have a sway from side to side. And now let's rest all the way down to the ground. Taking crocodile pose, crossing forearms. You can have the feet with the inner edges of the feet to the ground and feel the inner edges of the legs to the pelvis. Or sway the feet over the legs from side to soften a bit more. One more breath. Great. Let's take the arms wide out to the side, palms face down. Maybe you're on your fingertips. Wiggle onto the front of the thighs and the feet together. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. I know this is quite an activating shoulder stretch. Maybe you can just shrug your shoulders around a bit more. Feel the outer edges of the upper arms to the little fingers and the thumbs to the inner edges of the arms and the armpits. Great, one more shrug of your shoulders or just softening down. And then we keep the head down and center. Then we step one foot over the other to the other side of the mat. You can turn your head and look to the opposite side that the foot is stepping behind you, the natural side that will just come to you. Go from side to side. Or if that's a bit too tricky for you, just turn your head from side to side. So you don't need to do the foot. Just feeling into the top of your spine. So twisting slightly. Or twisting all the way down to the foot. Helps the lower spine as well, the sacrum. One more breath, ending on the opposite side. Coming back to center. Let's cross our forearms the opposite way in crocodile. Sway out the feet over our legs, just easing through. And then taking our arms wide again, fingertips down. Shuffle onto the front of the thighs. We're going to lift one foot up and then place it down, lift the other foot up. A bit faster than our normal one leg lotus, as if you're swimming. One leg lifts up, feel the glute, and then the other leg lifts up. Keep that going. Maybe the breath is a little bit faster. One more time. And then softening in crocodile, either the inner edges of the feet down to the ground, wide, toes out, or swaying the feet over the legs again. Great, let's take our arms wide again out to the sides. This time palms flat down to the ground. Moving your left hand just to support you inwards as you bend the elbow. Keep the right arm out shoulder height and we'll move over to the right shoulder. Easing our head down to the ground. Maybe this left arm wraps around the back and you just have a nice shoulder stretch through both shoulders. Letting the weight drop through the right shoulder to the ground. Imagining the energy for you that is all around you, flowing through you, connecting to the earth and just releasing any tension. Maybe this left hand finds the left foot, if you can bend the knee, and we take the foot and the knee back a bit more to find the thigh stretch and a deeper stretch through the body to the left shoulder. Don't have to do this at all, just staying where it's best for you. One more big breath, feeling that right shoulder, dropping out the tension to the ground. And then slowly coming back to center. Let's just take our hands under our shoulders, and it's like you're a snake just wiggling from side to side a bit, swaying out. Great, take the hands overhead and stretch through the fingers and the toes like you're a long, long snake stretching over the ground. And then taking your left hand out, shoulder height, palm facing down, right hand just in front of you, elbow bent to press off the ground onto your left side. Softening your head to the mat again, finding that comfortable position. Stepping the right foot slightly behind the left, and maybe this right hand sweeps around the back to touch the left hip. Softening as well, just feeling into the stretch. Softening as much as you can all the way through. Feeling the energy expanding through you. All the energy that we work with our strong postures, soaking in our softer postures. And again, maybe you take the right hand to the right foot, bending the knee, drawing that foot back behind you. One more big breath. Feeling through the left shoulder, letting go to the ground. And what's different on this side? What's the sensation, the feelings, the breath doing? Great, let's come back to center on the ground again carefully. Take the hands underneath your shoulders again and just have a wriggle, have a sway from side to side. You're massaging your belly, invigorating your organs for your day. Great, take the hands overhead again and stretch it out, fingers and toes. Maybe pressing the palms together in full body pranam prayer to the earth. Your belly, your heart on the ground, sending love and thanks to the earth through your body with thanks. Great, once we're down here, let's practice some more back bends now, which is really good for all the Vayus, for all our energy to be more activated. And like the spine is the master system of the body. And once everything's really strong and flowing with the spine, the whole body will coordinate. So let's take our hands either sides of the thighs, lift chest, lift feet if that's comfortable for you. We can just lift the chest a bit forward and the feet down, or lift the feet with the head down. You can go in like a rocking, bobbing way with head and feet, touching one to the ground and then the other. We're just staying in our normal locust, Savasana, lifting chest and feet. Trying what's nice for you, maybe playing and having a bit of an experiment. Noticing the extremities of your crown of your head and your toes, the soles of the feet, the heels. One more breath, lengthening through the spine, lighting up your spinal column, Shishima, column of light. And then lowering down, softening. Let's turn our cheek to the mat, have a sigh. And turn the opposite cheek to the mat, have a sigh. And then coming back to center. Your choice, we can have another variation of Locust Pose as you wriggle onto the front of your thighs, toes tucked down this time to activate the shins and the knees off the ground. Press the heels back and just stay there, lifting your chest, feel the hands to the sides or lifting them away from the ground, hovering. An aeroplane flying through the sky, beaming from your heart. You can take the hands behind, interlace them for a few breaths, and trying to notice which thumb, index finger is your normal crossing as you interlace your fingers. Drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, lengthening through. And then if you have your hands interlaced behind the back, softening to switch the grip to the opposite side, rising up again for a few breaths, pressing to the toes and the heels, lengthening through, lighting up your column of light, Shishima, your spine in all directions, and then lowering down for softness. Dropping onto our cheek again to just have a sigh. Going to the other side of the cheek. Having a sigh. Coming back to center. Let's take half bow, and then we've got choice to rest or practice full bow as well. Left forearm to the front of the mat. Come up a little bit with your body like Sphinx, and the right hand back to your right foot. Draw back the right shoulder, pressing the left foot to the ground, lengthening through your spine. Keep pressing the left toes down as you lift up a bit more. Maybe this left forearm can just shuffle really carefully towards you to get a bit more lift and arch, softening the right shoulder back. You can flex the left toes to just pull you back a bit more and feel the leg line as well. One more breath. Emanating from your heart in all directions. Great, let's lower down carefully. You can cross the forearms and sway your feet over your legs in crocodile for a break. And then let's go to the other side. Taking the right forearm to the mat, shuffling onto the front of the thighs, the left foot to your hand, and checking that your right toes are pressing down as you lift up and lengthen again. Left shoulder back, heart beaming forwards, feel the back of the heart as well. Feel the back and the front of the body all the way around. Again, maybe shuffling that right forearm towards you a bit more to get a bit more lift. If you did so on the other side, pressing to the right foot and the toes, lifting and lengthening, maybe flexing that left foot for a breath, leveling our head, softening jaw, and then lowering down carefully to crocodile again, crossing forearms the opposite way than you usually do, swaying out your feet again, side to side. So you can rest in child's pose now, pressing up and back. Maybe the hands are to your feet in child's pose as you rest and breathe through the back of the body, or we take full bow Dharana, moving onto the front of your thighs. Move both feet and big toes together to just start with the knees and the toes together. Lifting up when you're ready, you can lift the feet and the knees apart a little bit, but not too wide, keep them behind the hips. Breathing deep, lifting through your heart, softening shoulders back, lengthening through, lifting with an inhale, softening if you want as you exhale, maybe flexing the feet to pull your body up, maybe pointing the feet to lift the legs up a bit more. One more big breath, radiating out, inhale, and exhale, softening down. Well done. Taking crocodile or just resting. Maybe the hands under shoulders, press the ground away, back to child's pose. If you're in child's pose and you've been there for a while, maybe you can just come up onto your knees and your hands are forwards, and you can just rock from side to side in a higher style of child's pose to feel into the back of the sacrum, and lengthen through the spine this way. Okay, let's all settle into child's pose again. Take the palms of the hands together above your head. Just press them there with the palms all pressing, the fingers, the thumbs equal. Noticing that. Spread the fingers and the thumbs away from each other a little bit like a lotus flower opening. You can either keep the hands over your head or take them to the back of the head. Just stretch out the upper arms and the shoulders a bit more. One more breath. Great, let's come onto our hips and shuffle the feet forward now for lying down. Take the feet to the top of the mat, hip distance apart and level, hands forward with an inhale. Exhale, start to roll through the back of the body, slow as you like to activate your core, or just roll down and relax. Softening shoulders as you take your hands over your head, straightening the feet, straightening to the toes, and pointing the toes maybe to just really lengthen through the legs, lifting the hands and the thumbs, the fingers wide above you, like rays of the sun shining through you. And then softening as you maybe take your feet to the mat, bending knees, inner knees to touch for restorative rest. Draw that back bend. It's quite nice to have restorative rest. It really helps just settle the sacrum, the lower back efficiently to the ground as you come into Shavasana relaxation. And maybe you keep your hands over your head to just feel into the energy moving through you as a stream of light, of love, of peace. Perhaps you choose any position that's right for you. After a few more moments, you can move to another position. Or you can take your hands to your heart, your belly, or hands out to the sides with palms turned up. Noticing how each position slightly changes your energy, and notice what energy is needed to balance and bring you into your thriving wholeness. As you come to fully let go, fully surrender, imagining your whole body melting and merging with the ground below. And also your whole body melting and merging around you with the air above. And this merging is our energy moving with all the energy around, sensing, which is always there. As we know that there's so many more senses in a way that we don't sense in life, that animals see and hear different frequencies than we do, and that we all see and hear slightly differently. Also touch and how we sense touch is slightly different. Noticing the skin with the air around. Noticing the smell around you with your breath. Imagining you're smelling a sweet flower or your favorite smell. Imagining tasting warm, freshly out of the oven bread or your favourite food. And as you have your eyes closed, looking within with thanks, with understanding, and sensing the sound of your heart's prayer, your sankalpa, your intention, sending this out to all. And I read again from Sean Corn's Revolution of the Soul, which I read from yesterday at the end of class, about ego, and this time again about ego and how everything is connected. To understand and truly embrace the eliminated self or spirit, we have to understand and embrace the wisdom of our soul, and also how our ego and our shadow is operating in our life and can teach us how to be in relationship with our life in more balance, listening to what it has to teach us about our humanity. Otherwise, it will dictate the choices we make and the way we experience the world. Everything is connected. There is no separation, no matter how hard the ego tries. To know acceptance, we must also experience rejection. To know patience, we must also know resistance. To know understanding, we must also know judgment. To know love, we must also understand fear and respect its power. We cannot learn to forgive without first feeling betrayed. We cannot bypass the tremors of life, its heartbreaks, its losses, because without those, we will never fully know joy. The soul requires all of this in order to grow and heal. The soul draws in exactly what our consciousness needs for that growth to happen. This means to be fully human, we must live it all. We must take life in and witness our response. Once we see there is no resistance, we can let go of this resistance within us. We can begin to uncover who we are, our authentic nature, our higher self, and who we are to each other. When we enter into relationship with spirit, we develop real self-confidence with a capital S, spirit and self-confidence. And we begin to see who we are beyond our ego and understand why we're here and what we need to accomplish. As a result of that, we can embrace the totality of our authentic nature, and trust our intuition, or what I call the inner teachings of God. So as we trust our authentic nature, you expand with our thriving energy through life, for ourselves and for others, for all. And when we are working on ourselves, we can really understand that we can be an example of love and peace for others by not preaching in a way, by not telling them how to live, but just living your own life in your own way. And once we are in our truth and we're shining this out without pressurizing our truth onto others, if we just live our truth, then this truth ripples out with ease, with flow, for all to understand and all to connect. As you take a few more breaths, breathing through your heart and your wholeness, breathing with the Vayus, the vital winds, the forces of energy, breathing through your whole body, all the currents, the nadis. As you seal this in, love and peace, sending this love and peace out to the world, out to all. With thanks and gratitude, waking in your own way, doing a stretch that's nice and expansive for you. As you wake with this balance you've created. And slowly in your own time, either rocking to your side and resting there for a few moments, coming to seated with a long tall spine when you're ready. And you can move your neck a little bit, side to side, just easing. And softening your shoulders back and down as you take your hands to your heart, please, and entering Lunge. So you close our eyes. It sounds 3 Oms, the sound of creation, 3 Shantis together. And then inhale to prepare. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bowing your head to your heart, bowing to all. Namaste. Thank you.